Good evening and welcome to the first of two meetings tonight. My name is Dennis Buckley, Mayor of the City of Beech Grove. And at this time, we will convene our Board of Sanitation meeting for Tuesday, January the 19th, 2016. In lieu of a roll call, I will ask each participant to introduce themselves, beginning on my far right.
Ed Bell.
Dan McMillan, Clerk Treasurer.
Craig Wiley, City Attorney.
Sandy Seward.
Thank you, Board. You have been presented a printed copy of the previous meeting minutes dated Monday, January the 4th, 2015. Floor is open for questions, comments, or corrections.
I have none. Thank you.
If there's no corrections, comments, or questions, I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll make said motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I also vote aye, and the motion carries. This evening, Board, you have 4 pages of wastewater claims in the amount of $48,201.63. The floor is open for questions or comments.
I have none.
I have done this evening.
If there's no questions or comments, I'll ask for a motion to approve the wastewater claims dated January the 19th, 2016 in the amount of $48,201.63.
I'll make said motion, Mayor.
And I have a question. Sorry. I have 2 vouchers.
For the corporate, do you have 2 for corporate?
Oh, additional corporate. I see it.
Yes,
I apologize.
that's a
Yes, I apologize.
retiree payroll.
I will make said motion.
Okay.
I'll second the motion. Sorry.
Okay, Ed has made the motion, Sandy has seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries.
Sorry about that, Dan.
We have no unfinished business to carry over from the previous meeting, and we have no new business this evening. Comments from board members?
None this evening.
Thank you.
No comments, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make said motion.
And I'll second.
The meeting is adjourned at 6:02 PM. We will convene Board of Public Works and Safety meeting in 5 minutes. Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the second and final meeting tonight. My name is Dennis Buckley, and I'm Mayor of the City of Beech Grove. And at this time, we will convene our Board of Public Works and Safety meeting for Tuesday, January the 19th, 2016. In lieu of a roll call, I will ask each participant to introduce themselves, beginning on my far right.
Ed Bell.
Dan McMillan, Clerk Treasurer.
Craig Wiley, City Attorney.
Sandy Seward.
Thank you, board members. You have been presented a printed copy of the minutes of the previous meeting dated Monday, January the 4th, 2015. The floor is open for questions, comments, or corrections.
I have none. Thank you.
None.
If there's no questions, comments, or corrections, I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll make said motion.
And I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I also vote aye, and the motion carries. This evening, Board, we have 2 dockets of claims. The first docket of corporate claims, there's 26 pages in the amount of $829,210.84. The floor is open for questions or comments.
I have none this evening.
I do have a question, please. On page 24.
All right.
24, did you say?
Yes, 24. Almost in the middle of the page, I Act.
That's Indiana Association of Cities and Towns, and that's something we've joined numerous years.
What is, I mean, do they support our city council?
They're lobbyists for municipal governments. They have training programs for mayors, attorneys, clerk treasurers, city council people, different things like that.
Okay, thank you. That was all my questions, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve the corporate claims dated January 19, 2016, in the amount of $829,210.84.
I'll make said motion.
And I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Board, you have another set of dockets, additional corporate claims, 2 pages in the amount of $148,631.79. The floor is open for questions or comments.
I have none.
I'd just like to make a statement on this. All this is retiree payroll. It would have normally been included in the first set. I did the dockets, which I normally don't do, and I seen it, I excluded it, so that's the reason why you have a second set tonight.
Thanks, Dan.
No further questions or comments. I'll ask for a motion to approve the additional corporate claims dated January the 19th, 2016, in the amount of $148,631.79.
I'll make said motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I also vote aye, and the motion carries.
Thank you.
Under unfinished business carried over from the previous meeting, we have, we went through the Churchman Avenue sidewalk appraisal at the last meeting, but we're unsure how to proceed, so Brian Pearson is with us this evening from United, and he can walk us through this and advise us on how to respond. Brian, good to see you.
Good to see you as well. Good evening, Board. I apologize for the confusion and not being present at the last board meeting to explain in more detail what this is about. I'll try to without getting into too much detail, tell you what this is. This is one of the steps in the land acquisition process. Our Churchman Avenue sidewalk construction project has an approved environmental document, which means that we can now buy land for our project. We have 3 parcels that we're going to be purchasing varying amounts of acreages from to construct the new sidewalk. The land acquisition process itself has several checks and balances, and this is just one of those steps. What you have in front of you is the appraisal problem analysis, or APAs. This is the first step in the land acquisition process where someone will determine what type of appraisal needs to be done. So this isn't even the actual appraisal we're to yet. It's someone saying what type of appraisal has to be done and how much that should theoretically cost. All we need is a signature from an elected official, you, Mayor, or Mr. McMillan, the Clerk Treasurer. Even Brad Merriweather possibly could sign that as our NDOT representative, the ERC for the city. But it's not it's not a contract or anything that you're signing. It's just a checks and balances paperwork trail of the land acquisition process. So what they don't want is the appraisers telling them how much they're going to charge to do their appraisal. So they have an APA step that comes first, and someone else determines how much the appraisers are going to make. All of these dollar figures are actually, everything's already been included in our contract to do this design work. So I I think some of the confusion arose from, seeing some dollar sign numbers right above where you're supposed to sign a document. You're not signing a contract, you're not agreeing to pay certain amounts or this or that. This is just an internal step in the process. After we sign this paperwork, we will then begin the actual appraisals. Those people will determine the land costs of the parcels that we're dealing with. Then there's even a review appraisal step, and then we can get to the buying and the negotiating and making offers to those property owners. That's where, again, we will come to you with any kind of actual requests for funding, for money to pay for those parcels. So this is, just like I said, just a system of checks and balances within the land acquisition process. And since this is a federally funded project, this is the process that we go through to do that. Your signature is just basically agreeing that those are the types of appraisals that are going to be done, and like I said, not changing any sorts of contract amounts or any monies here.
Okay, any questions or comments from board members? So it's not a formality that we have to approve, it's just part of the process.
Yep, we're just getting the owner of the project, the chance to sign off and agree that of the 4 or 5 different types of appraisals that can be done, depending on how complex the parcel is to buy, whether you're impacting someone's setback from the roadway or you're, buying their old oak tree that's in their front yard. All those factors determine how difficult it is to appraise those parcels and how much money those people end up getting. So this is just the first step in that process.
Do you want both copies or just one?
Just one will be fine for us.
Okay. While Dan's going to go ahead and sign it, can you bring us up to speed on where we're at with the project?
Sure.
And the changes in the project as far as timing?
Yes. We received a request from the Indianapolis MPO, the Metropolitan Planning Organization, to push this project forward a fiscal year from 2018 to 2017. That has led to a new letting date of what I believe was originally September of 2017. Now we want to let this project through NDOT in February of 2017. And so getting this land acquisition process underway is a good step towards meeting those deadlines. Everything is on track to do that, which is why we agreed to the MPO's request to move our project up. We said we could make that happen.
So if we wouldn't have done this, when would construction take place?
With those fall lettings, typically the work would not have been done until the following spring, depending on how long it takes to get contracts in order and stuff like that. So we could have possibly been looking at March or April beginning construction on this project.
Of 18?
Of 2018. Now with our February of 2017 letting date, we'll likely be looking at April or May of 2017.
That's really good news.
Yes, and with this type of project, there's really no reason that construction wouldn't get done all in a single calendar year and be done sometime in the late summer or fall of 2017.
I have a question. Just curious, this project you were talking about, easement buying. So you've already talked with the people that's impacted on this? You need to see if any problems.
The first time that we make contact with the affected property owners or the parcels that we're going to be buying is during the appraisal process.
Okay.
So no, we have not contacted those people yet. They've actually, everyone along the project route would have received some very preliminary correspondence from our surveyors when they went out there, letting them know they were going to be on their property, so they might be aware of the project. We haven't had a public information meeting or anything on this particular project, so we wouldn't have necessarily shared our current plan set with anybody. Okay. or shared the impacts to certain properties with them.
All right.
The appraisal process, really, you're not allowed to do that until the environmental document is approved. That's a big cutoff point in most federal aid projects.
Okay.
So we have just recently reached that point, this APAs is the next step, and after that will be appraisal. So very soon now, we will be contacting those 3 parcels, letting them know what our intentions are.
I don't think you're gonna get any resistance. I think everybody owns property up through there is very happy that this is happening.
Yes, the impacts on for this project are very minimal. We're not, like I said, taking anyone's 100-year-old oak tree or anything like that. It's adding this new sidewalk on the side of the road requires a little bit of construction of a new slope that, just kind of crosses that imaginary right-of-way line of where you stop mowing your grass. So the impacts are very minimal.
Any other questions for Brian?
Have that?
We'll see you maybe in a couple of weeks for paving?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you so much. That concludes unfinished business. Under new business, we have 3 items this evening. The first one is a nepotism certification approval. I'll defer to the clerk for explanation and to read all of the names, and we'll just do this as one approval.
What this actually is state mandated now, and for example, I could not hire a relative of mine I'm the direct supervisor for, and these people that have signed off on this, same way. They're stating that they have not hired a relative to work for them. The first one is Carla McKee, Mark Schwartz, Brad Merriweather, Robert Cheshire, Chris Harrison, Craig Wiley, Sandy Seward, Elizabeth Lamping, Kevin Day, Jim Brooks, Ed Bell, Dennis Buckley, David Harrison, Dan McMillan, Chris Duffer, Bud Templin, Tom Hannon, and Andrew Wells.
Those are the ones that have been brought forward. Any questions or comments?
Have none, thank you.
No questions or comments. I'll ask for a motion to approve the nepotism certification on the people we mentioned just a minute ago.
Said motion.
And I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Next order of new business is handicap parking permits. We have 3 separate permits this evening, Board, and I'll defer to the clerk to read the applications, and we'll do them individually.
Okay, the first one is James Vaden at 145 North 8th Avenue. They have provided us with the information they need from their doctor stating that they need this handicap parking permit.
Does the board have a copy of that?
Yes.
Ed? Here you go.
Just the permit only.
Yeah, just
I got a copy of that. but I
okay,
thought
you got that, that's
about
fine.
the others.
No.
Okay, all right.
That we have down in
Yeah.
our
Okay.
office, and there's doctor statements and so forth, so I thought this was
I
the
don't
best way
think we
to.
need that.
Yeah,
Any questions or comments on, is it James Vaden?
James
Vaden.
Vaden.
Is this a renewal or is it new?
It is renewal.
If there's no questions or comments, I'll ask for a motion to approve the renewal parking permit for James Vaden.
I'll make said motion.
And I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Next one, Dan?
The next one is Tony Sy, S-Y, at 222 North 6th Avenue. And this one, I'm not sure if it is a renewal or if it's a new one.
Mine says renewal at the top.
Okay, renewal, okay. I see it on there now, thank you.
Floor is open for questions or comments.
I do have a question, please. Do we need a license plate number?
Yes, they have to show us their registration and so forth.
It's not on this form.
Okay, and
And-
they haven't paid for this yet, so
Okay.
it could have been when he came in.
Okay.
When I come in to pay for it, I will bring that.
Okay, thank you.
If there's not any further questions or comments, I ask for a motion to approve the permit, provided he pays for it, for Tony Sy.
Make
Make
said
said
motion.
motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Do we have this one, Dan?
Yeah.
We have one more this evening, Board.
Thank you. The next one is Johnny Dawson at 61 North 16th Avenue. And this one here, I'm not sure if it's renewal or a new one. I didn't take this myself, so I'm not sure.
Okay, the floor is open for questions or comments.
Has he paid his fee yet?
No. Ordinarily, we do not get a fee from them until it's approved because it just makes so much easier, you know, than have to go back and ask you guys for a refund and
Right,
so.
okay. Should we, I mean, just for to make some of the paperwork easier, should we change the title of this to 2016?
Oh,
If
Oh,
we
yeah.
have to, if we ever have to go back and look.
yes.
Good
I
catch.
didn't catch that
Might
either.
want to change the original form.
Yeah, we will.
No questions or comments. I'll ask for motion to approve the handicap parking permit for Johnny Dawson.
I'll make said motion.
And I'll second, Mayor.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries.
Dan, just a quick question. When these folks come in to renew, do they have a special hang tag or anything?
Yes, everyone is, there will be a little sticker that goes in their vehicle and then also on the sign that's posted there. So if you had handicap plates, you could not park in this.
Okay.
You would be subject to a ticket. It's only good for the vehicle that has the matching
But that
number.
sticker is Beech Grove issued?
Yes, it
Okay,
is. It's
okay.
Beech Grove issued, so is the one that goes on sign. DPW
Perfect.
will go out and put that
Okay.
on the sign.
Okay, thanks, Dan.
The last order of new business this evening is an MOU between the City of Beech Grove and Christopher Burke Engineering. Christopher Burke Engineering is the firm that did the flood control work for Marion County. So they have brought Marion County into compliance for FEMA recommendations for flood control and flood insurance rate maps for 2016. So what I thought we should do is have them, retain them to help us comply with the Marion County fire insurance rate map and flooding per se. So they come up with this fee structure of $3,000, and what they're gonna do, what they've already done, is they've already put the maps together for us. And then in March, they are going to approach the city council, and the city council is going to approve, either approve or not, a resolution to approve the flood control rate maps for the city, for the residents of Beech Grove. And that's pretty relevant because we've already done it once. We've lowered the rates for flood insurance, and if the council approves it, which I think they will, this will make it even better for people who live near creeks who are prone to flooding, they would get a break on their insurance because they would no longer have to take out a flood insurance policy as required by FEMA. Christopher Burke has already been working, engineering has already been working with some of the residents in this area, notifying them or if answering their questions if they have questions concerning flooding. So tonight, and I'll defer to the city attorney if there's any improprieties with this agreement.
No, I looked at it pretty closely. It looks fine. It's professional services agreements, so it didn't have to be bidded out. I think for two reasons. Number one is professional services. I think it's under 10,000, so it didn't need to be bidded out.
Okay. I'll open it up to any questions or comments from board members.
I've done.
Sounds good.
If not, I'll ask for a motion to allow the city to enter into an agreement with Christopher Burke Engineering concerning flood insurance rate maps and FIS, flood insurance resolution assistance for the city council.
I'll make said motion.
And I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Christopher Burke will have representatives at the March 7th city council meeting to take them through this process and to get approval from the governing body. We have to do this by April the 19th of this year. So this is good news, and the legislative body is going to help citizens once again, so it's good, good stuff. Comments from board members?
None this evening.
I have done. Thank you.
If not, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make said motion.
And I'll second.
The meeting is adjourned at 6:30 PM. We will convene again in these chambers on Monday, February the 1st, 2016 at 6 PM.